Here we are, starting with section 1.1, definitions and key terms. Well, first of all, we are in statistics, the science of collecting, organizing, summarizing, and analyzing information, where we can draw conclusions or answer questions. Now, within statistics, we have things called variables. Now, these are different than the variables in algebra. Variables in statistics are the characteristics or measurement that's analyzed in a study. Think of each survey question as a variable. Someone's age is a variable, gender, their level of math anxiety. Each of those are a variable in a study. The answers that you can give and how many people give the same answer is what we call data. They can be numerical or non-numerical. Data are plural. Whenever you're writing, it's data are. If you're referring to a single piece of information, then it's called a datum. The entire group that we are studying is called the population, and any numerical summary of the entire population is what we would call a parameter. Oftentimes, an entire population and its parameter are very difficult to get, hard to obtain. So we would take a smaller group of the population, a subset, and call that our sample. So any numerical summary of our sample, we call that a statistic. So yes, the word statistic is used twice here, so think of it like context. If you're talking about the study of statistics, that's the entire science. But if somebody asks you, show me the statistics, that means show me the data, show me the numerical information you have gathered on a sample of a population. So a study was conducted to determine if students feel they are getting a good education in college here in the United States. Surveys were sent out to 1,000 college students throughout the US. Responses consisted of, yes, I'm getting a good education, no, I'm not getting a good education, or not applicable, which basically mean they didn't answer. So what is the population here in this study? In other words, what is the largest group that we are focused on? Part of our research is about all college students within the United States. That's our population. There's no way we can reach the entire population. So what was our sample? Our sample in this case were the 1,000 college students that were sent surveys. The variable, remember, is the question that we want answered. And in this case, we want to know whether or not they felt they were getting a good education. So we might say, the perceived quality of college education. And then what was the data? In this case, we don't have the actual numerical values as to how many said yes or no, but that is what we would be looking at, our answers. So we want to do some matching here, key terms and pieces of the following study. A study was conducted at a community college, and students were basically asked to vote on the issue of favorite modality. How do they like to take a class? The choices were online, face-to-face, hybrid, and virtual hybrid. A is online, face-to-face, hybrid, and virtual hybrid. Those were all of our options for that variable. So that's going to be our data. B says the students who were randomly selected to answer the survey. So remember, we took a smaller group of the entire population. So those that were selected to do the survey, that is our subset of the population or our sample. The number of students who voted for online as their favorite modality. That is telling us something about our sample, a numerical value stating this many people voted this way. This is a statistic. D is favorite modality. Well, that wasn't an answer. This was more the heart of our research. How do our students want to learn? So favorite modality is our variable. That's what we were asking them about. E is all students at the community college. Well, that's who we're concerned with. How do you guys want to take these classes, right? But we couldn't reach everybody. But that is our population. That is the people we're concerned with. And F is the actual number of students who prefer online modality. So when we say actual number, that means of all the students in the community college, how many of them really prefer online modality? That would be a parameter. And again, when we take a sample, we don't know the parameter, but that number exists. We just don't know what it is unless we asked every single person. So throughout the semester, we're going to be talking about the different stages within the process of statistics. Whenever you are to write up your research, you need to do these 4 things. 1, identify your research objective. First, define the goal of your research. What is it that you're wanting to know? Define your population. Who or what are at the heart of your research? C, define how we will collect the information. And the second thing, you need to collect the information. Be sure you choose an appropriate sample size. Generally, there's a minimum of 30, but the larger the better. And then collect the sample using one of the non-biased methods that we will describe later on in section 1.2. Once you have all of your data, you're going to organize and summarize that data. This is called descriptive statistics. And sometimes descriptive statistics is all that a researcher will do. They will organize and say, this is how many people were female. This is how many people had high anxiety. This is how many people have tattoos. We will use charts, graphs, tables, anything to organize our data and provide a visual display. And we will calculate those statistics for the sample. The last thing we do is draw conclusions. This is called inferential statistics. We never prove anything about the population. We cannot guarantee the percentage or the number of people who will vote one way or another unless we asked every single person. Inferential statistics means that we infer, or that the data suggests. We extend the sample to the entire population and make conclusions. Something like, based on our research, the population would have approximately, 20%, or our research suggests that the population would have this many X, Y, and Z. We always want to evaluate the reliability and or significance of the study and the data that we gather.